I'll tell you what wasn't 1A or tier 1 or top tier. The Giants last night in Philadelphia. And everybody knows if you listen to me here or on the night show or wherever that I got Philly ties and I got to hear it from my Temple buddies, from my Philly buddies. Dude, what is going on? Y'all look like the Bad News Bears. Okay, you can't field a ball. You can't throw a ball. You can't pitch a ball. You can't hit a ball. You can't do much of anything.
You're not talking about the 2023 Giants.
Right now, as of right now, they look like the Bad News Bears last night.
Meckler looked like, and I have nothing against the kid, but like a nerd chasing the ball with the frames. I'm like, dude, I'm not even mad at him.
Yeah.
I'm really mad. It should have been Matos in the lineup who hit it the night before, hit his second home run the day before. And Alan, I just come from a world real quick to where there is some reward. There is what I deem the Jim Leland or Bruce Bochy gut feeling. You're going to man center, and I stole your adjective. He glides out there.
He's a glider.
And I just felt like he should have been out there, but Meckler seems like he's getting some type of scully.
Yeah. I don't know if it's somewhere in between. I get you want people to get a feel for it, get your rhythm. But if Matos starts cooking, you can't cool him off. And in the crossover, very lively crossover yesterday. It was a great time. During the crossover, we're going to run it back to you.
I'm out of here at 48 today, so they'll take you. You'll have your early crossover.
More time. I can't wait. So now it's going to be me just on my shield with my sword by myself. Now you're leaving me.
I used to be Dibs' fave. He said you're his fave. Yeah. I didn't like it yesterday. I'll talk to him.
It's fine. Yeah. I'll be all right. And you're trying to get a rhythm here, and Matos hits the home run just a couple days ago, and I'm sitting here saying, okay, cool. They're not doing what they did with Elliot Ramos. They're keeping these guys in. They're letting them get a rhythm. And what does Kapler do? And I cape up. I've caped for Cap. I've caped for Cap. And then you don't play Matos there, who, by the way, regardless of whether he's hitting or not, Matos is a center fielder.
There's no doubt about it.
He's a center fielder.
Darren Lewis on line one.
Exactly. He is a center fielder. So to sit him as he's starting to get hot, right, or trying to get hot.
No doubt.
To put in Meckler for a matchup purpose who looks just completely overmatched, right? And now he's giving, and it was one play, but an issue in the outfield now. Sayball, I know Sayball is another hot name.
What was that? Barnum Bailey, what was that?
Christopher Columbus, Magellan.
A catcher in a softball game stashed in the outfield.
Back in the day, they used to say MapQuest. You need MapQuest, you know.
I'm going to go Waze, but I'm still
Waze, he tried to go Waze. I think he tried to take the shortcut.
That's not what the Giants have been predicated on. I mean, I understand an error here and there, but again, is this by necessity? Because, he's out. Okay, Yaz is out.
Yeah.
My neck and my back, Wade Jr. popped one yesterday.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. He's just chronic. Shout out Snoop and Dre. But he's chronic. Something's always up with him. I don't know where this thing is going. And what's worrying me is Farhan the title of the jam for the Giants was, it will be greater later.
Yeah.
We're not going to go get these big boys. You know, we're not going to close the deal. ABC always be closing. Glengarry, Glenn Ross. I know you've seen that, right? Okay. So now I'm like, in baseball, there is a term. I don't have to tell you, a 4A player.
Yeah.
We don't know which of these studs or these youngsters are a 4A player.
No.
But Alan, I'm starting to say, okay, you're supposed to have an infusion of vets. And I know we got out of the crossover yesterday. Shasky texted me in regard to Dibs and Willard's conversation. They're back and forth about what was really at the deadline. And Shasky texted me Josh Bell. I said, that's the black Brandon Belt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Without the glove.
I wouldn't do that.
So I told Shasky that wasn't one I think
Kike
they missed
Hernandez was the big one for me.
That.
And not just because he got hot, because Kike Hernandez is literally a Farhan player. You can put him in more than 3-4 positions, right? He can hit. So Kike Hernandez to me was probably one of the highlighted. Now, whatever the Dodgers paid or traded to get him back, I get all that, and he's
working.
And he used to be in LA. But Kike Hernandez to me was somebody that the Giants. I'll put it to you like this: would he be in the lineup every day right now? Yes.
Hell yes.
That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. Depending on what you had to give up, I want to read some numbers here, Goo, just quickly, because this is about attendance last season versus this season, and we know the Giants' new bases, the pitch clock. More stealing, more offense, getting rid of the shift.
They were in the race.
They're in the race. They're in the race.
Product.
So we have number one you have your plus for the attendance, and then you have your minus. Basically, where are you compared to this year versus last year? The Philadelphia Phillies are up 10,000 fans, this year to last year.
Okay.
Cincinnati Reds, probably Ellie De La Cruz, not probably, it is, up 7,000 fans in attendance.
I understand both.
You got to scroll all the way down. So now I'm halfway there, and the Miami Marlins are up 3,000 fans. And I think that's just, obviously, you got some guys, you got Jazz Chisholm.
They're in competition.
They're in competition.
My boy trying to hit 400. He dropped a little bit.
Here, I didn't even notice this.
Arcia?
I didn't even notice this. And maybe it's due to the reverse boycotts or something. The Oakland Athletics are up 900 fans a game this year versus last year.
Shout out to the town.
I'm still scrolling down.
Wow.
The Detroit Tigers up 400 fans a game. I got to scroll all the way. And they actually beat the Dodgers, I think, simply because the Dodgers are just so good every year. And the Dodgers, we know, fair weather fans. The Giants are at 213 fans. They're up 213 fans. That puts them.
That's what I was going to ask. What number is that?
27th, 26th on the list.
Wow.
So after that, it's the Dodgers, who we know Dodgers LA. It's very interesting with their attendance. Next are the Cardinals. They're down 452 fans.
And they're in the tank.
They're in the tank. Next are the White Sox, who are having one of the worst seasons.
Talk about moving.
Punch in the face.
Okay.
And Tim Anderson. They're down 3,000 fans. And the Nationals, the worst team besides the A's in baseball, are down 3,000 fans.
Okay, so I got two questions. I got one question and a statement. Mm-hmm. Where did you find that? Because I am shocked. Because let me tell you why I'm shocked. We did a show last week, and the Rays were playing that they were here visiting Third and King. It was a day game. But I'm not that guy that gets into the, man, there's some seats available. And I know people in the Bay, Allen, they work. But I said to myself, I didn't say it to anybody else, that looks like a light crowd, no biggie. But for you to come in here a week after that or days after that to tell me, man, it ain't on and popping, and that's another reason that the Giants could use an Ohtani, who couldn't, or what Mark Willard and the energy, and I'm going Spider-Man, the venom he had in vitriol towards not one specific person, but watching all these teams come in here with studs, electric players, the type of batters that pitchers fear. So I'm asking you right now, with that great info you provided all of us, do you think that has something to do with it? Because now I'm going Dr. Peabody, they're competing, but they're doing it a way where, I'm taking a basketball term, it's not Showtime Lakers. It's the computer tells us when Allen should come out, even if Allen's on fire. Like, I'm starting to think that we're going to use an opener. You give up 3 hits, you're coming out like you did something wrong. So I'm starting to wonder if that, whatever term you guys want to deem it and call this year's Giants, is that kind of, is it too boring to where nobody's, hey, let's go see such and such? Well, we don't know who we're going to see but Gabe, and now he's got his bodyguard.
Based on this, the answer is yes. And based on this,
star power. Bringing
up the rookies, that didn't work either, right? And I get it. If you're a hardcore baseball fan, you know who Luis Matos is. Yeah. You know who Marco Luciano is. I know Bonte's been getting on some of the Giants fans, and I'm right there with them because
what have they been doing?
Well, some of the Giants fans, they feel as if you don't know every single rule of arbitration and you don't know every minor leaguer that you can't talk baseball at all, and they all gang up on you. And I almost had to help Bonte out, but I know he's a big boy. He can take care of himself. So,
baby,
people like that, right? Who are really invested, they know who Luis Matos, they know who Wade Meckler, but that's not who's filling the seats, Goo.
Okay.
That's not who's filling the seats.
No shade at those youngsters, especially the youngsters.
No shade, because they might pop. Yeah. And when they pop, this will change. But Ellie De La Cruz will fill the seats, okay? The Baltimore Orioles, they've been an aberration. They've been building their team. They got stars, right? Adley Rutschman, they're going to fill the seats. There's just everybody on this roster. Every team that we've listed out has somebody that you can say, hey, there's a guy. I mean, the Cubs, right? The Cubs up 2,000. They went out. Hey,
slapping the ball.
Let's go get a Cody Bellinger. Okay. Let's see if he can maybe refresh out here.
And that was the answer is yes.
Exactly. So There's just not a lot of moves to be made. The Diamondbacks, the Padres, all these teams. You have Corbin Carroll on the Diamondbacks, young studs that are coming up, and maybe the Giants will be there next year, but it's still a maybe.
But what if that next year is 2 or 3 years? Then what are we talking about with the Farhan era? And I'm driving in today on 880. We won't talk about the traffic.
Oh, my gosh.
Just, good Lord, Alan. But he's got me thinking now, why did Buster move back to the Bay? And not to steal his thunder, but I'm starting to wonder just how secure this whole Farhan Kapler regime is if there was supposed to be a mixture of the guys coming up, the young pups, and you closing some deals. And right now, no shaded Wade. He pops when he plays.
Sometimes.
Slater ain't got a hit in August. I mean, guys are all scuffling at the same time.
Yeah.
So is it wrong, Alan, for me to expect, like, that's not a good enough answer. Somebody's got to flip a spread. And Kapler, have you watched these? They're not, like, I'm fascinated. It's a game after the game with how he's handling the pressers. And I feel like his demeanor or his personality's changing. Pops, Norman Johnson said from Bullard, Texas, son, you find out people's real character when things aren't going good. And all of a sudden he's defending Meckler as if he's his son. And I'm just saying, you don't got to.
He's defending his decision.
He's
defending his decision. He's not necessarily defending Meckler.
And what's bothering me is I think he's selling people in their smart short. Yeah. It's like, Gabe, we know what you're doing, but I think Gabe is like, I'm Jedi mind tricking you all.
Yeah.
Did I just knock the camera?
Yeah,
I don't know what you're doing, And it's like, dude, but they're scuffling, man. They're the third wild card, half game up on Arizona, who's all of a sudden got hot. But and Kyle Harrison, I'm excited, but he's pitched 5 innings in AAA once this season.
Yeah.
But even if he was pitching a shutout, would he come out in the fourth? Like, what do we?
No, he would play, and I know.
All right.
Butcher Boy doesn't think that Kyle Harrison's going to have the best debut. I mean, the bats are hot for Philly.
Yeah.
Kyle Harrison this year, 108 strikeouts, 48 walks, a 4.52 ERA, 4.52 ERA with 67 innings pitched.
All right. 5 innings once.
Some people think that he's not ready.
Okay.
We gonna find out if he's ready or not.